If a comedian tells you they're going to St. Louis, you probably think, oh, they're going to the Funny Bone or they're performing at the Helium. Nope, not me. I flew all the way to St. Louis to eat pizza and then fly back to New York. I went to St. Louis just to visit my friend who just opened up a pizza place. I'm gonna tell him his pizza's great. He's gonna feel validated. I go home and he surprised me. I broke the #1 cardinal rule of any New York pizza person. I ate ranch. And I liked it. How do I delete this? How do I get this off? But before we get to the pizza, you gotta understand the mission. He just opened up Nicky Slices 6 weeks ago, and he invites me, and I can't go. I felt terrible. But I was trying to keep my status on Delta recently. I needed one more flight before the end of the year, and I thought, you know what? I can just use my miles. It's not gonna take a lot out of my pocket. Why don't I fly somewhere real quick and fly home? And instead of just going somewhere like Atlanta or maybe Miami, why don't I fly to St. Louis? But I can't just go regular. Nah, I gotta prank him. I had my podcast partner, Christian. This is us 10 years ago when we started our podcast. That's me, a little bit fatter and a little bit younger, and that's him, a little bit skinnier. Yo, my buddy's a very famous food vlogger. He's not, and he works for some really big publications. He doesn't. I say he's coming, so he thinks Christian's coming. So he goes, hey, send me his socials, and I just don't respond. I get on an airplane and I fly to St. Louis. Yo, the fire marshal here. Is Nick here? I'm just... Ah!
Crazy.
My boy pulled it out. You said send me socials. I said no, no.
That's crazy.
So here's Nick making a pizza, which by the way, a lot of pressure on Nick in this moment because he knows, one, I eat New York pizza all the time, and he's a big fan of New York City pizza. He was a chef here for many years. He ate at some of the best. He knows what Lindustry tastes like. He knows what Keste tastes like. So all of a sudden, me, a very critical person when it comes to pizza, is just walked through his back door and is about to try his pizza. So I understand there's a lot of pressure on this man. First of all, let's talk about the tomatoes. That's the first thing you see is the tomato and the basil. The basil's great. The tomato, out of this world. He uses DiNapoli. It's the best tomato I've ever had. So I would suggest using DiNapoli if you're gonna open up a pizza place. Below that, the cheese. Most Detroit pizza uses brick cheese. It's a little bit more buttery than a mozzarella. It's very simple. Now it's hard for us here in New York to get brick cheese. So Nick thinks instead of brick, why don't I make my own blend? If you're gonna make pizza in St. Louis, you gotta add one thing to it, which personally I'm not a big fan of. It's something called Provel. It's a cheese that was invented specifically for St. Louis. I don't know what happened, but St. Louis wanted a cheese that was as gooey as mozzarella, but was its own. People in St. Louis love it. Everyone from outside of St. Louis tries it and they hate it. Now, the reason for that is because they kind of overwhelm the pizza with this cheese. If you ever go to Emo's Pizza, which personally I think it's garbage, they just put Provel on top of the pizza. Nick was smart. He says, okay, if the flavor is that polarizing, why don't I just put a little bit, I'll mix it in. And let me tell you something, perfect balance. You get the St. Louis flavor, you get a little bit of that Provel, but it's not overwhelmingly Provel. And also, he explains why you shouldn't use all Provel.
The difference between like the browning on the mozzarella and the Provel.
The Provel is what toasts, right?
Yeah, it toasts. Like the mozzarella is like the spotting, but the Provel is like the blonder brown.
Right.
And that's the only part that sucks about using Provel is if you cook it like 2 seconds too long,
Yeah,
it like
it's charred.
it sheets over.
So here I am, absolutely enjoying the pizza, and I think, you know what, job well done, buddy, we did it. I flew all the way here, I tried the pizza, I think it's great. I have no qualms about telling everyone I know, if you ever go to St. Louis, I know the perfect place for you to get pizza. It's called Nicky Slices, it's in the Hill, it's out of this world. I thought that was it. And then, Nick brings out a little extra special treat, the chicken. Yeah, that's right. He brought out fried chicken pieces. And while that's not a big surprise, I thought this was covered in buffalo sauce. And I thought, here's a cup of blue cheese, because that's what you do, right? You get buffalo, I thought it was like boneless wings, you get buffalo flavor, and you get a little bit of blue cheese. No, that is not at all what I got. This is something called trophy chicken. It's in-house fried chicken pieces, which are out of this world, by the way, covered in something called trophy sauce. I'd never heard of trophy sauce. I didn't know what to expect from trophy sauce, but all I know is the moment I tried it, I was in love.
That's hot honey and like red hots. It's Buffalo Franks and a shit ton of brown sugar.
Ooh.
And T-shirt.
I'm gonna be real with you. I can eat those trophy chicken pieces all on their own. That sauce is out of this world. This makes the perfect one too. I want a bucket of that, and I want one of Nicky's pizzas, and I want to sit and eat both of those and maybe drink a nice light beer, something like a High Life or something maybe. I would have been just fine with that chicken, but that cup next to it, that wasn't blue cheese. I love to dip my buffalo wings in blue cheese. The one thing I'll never do is dip it in ranch. Ranch is disgusting. If you like ranch, that just tells me you grew up with a family that didn't season their food. I would be first to say ban it. In fact, the worst thing you could do is show me that you have ranch in a pizza place, because then all of a sudden, I don't take your pizza place all that serious. That's who I was before I went to St. Louis. I think I'm a ranch guy. More importantly, I think I'm a this ranch guy, because Nick makes this by hand, homemade, in-house. It was delicious. Bro, that's not what they sell at the supermarkets. I go to St. Louis and I'm thinking I'm about to have blue cheese, and what I try, dare I say, the perfect thing to have with this trophy chicken. I never thought I'd say that. Before I lose all of my New York pizza credibility, no ranch touch the pizza. I will never eat pizza with ranch on it. I'm not putting it on my pizza. I will never dip my pizza in anything besides the sauce that fell off of it. Oh, Alexis, all of a sudden, he's off TV, he's on this YouTube channel, and he's breaking all his own rules. No, 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 no. Because if pizza's good, you don't gotta dip it in anything. And if you dip in your pizza, or you tell me, oh, pizza's better if you dip it, that means you're eating garbage pizza. And you know what Nicky Slices doesn't serve? Garbage pizza. So, okay, St. Louis, buddy, you win, all right? You've got great pizza, finally. No more of that emos crap. In fact, you might have the best Detroit pizza I've ever had, which I know that sounds silly. Alexis, a New Yorker, is telling you the best place to get Detroit pizza is in St. Louis. Well, if you happen to be traveling to St. Louis, if you live in St. Louis, if you are anywhere within, I don't know, less than flying 1,000 miles of St. Louis, my suggestion is you go right now and you try Nicky Slices, because it's out of this world. And I'm not telling you what to do, but if you don't also get that wonderful, succulent, flavorful, trophy sauce-covered chicken, buddy, you're messing up. It's like getting a burger without the fries. Who are you? Why would you do that to yourself? I already gave you the perfect one too. I'm gonna give you the perfect 1, 2, 3. Something called the Big Deborah.
Those are the Big Deborahs, brother.
The thump that just made?
Yeah. Those are the Big Deborahs, brother.
You've heard of Little Debbie? No, that's not what I'm talking about. Imagine that wasn't made for little kids at recess. No, no. Imagine you made a cream-filled cookie sandwich for an adult, for someone with a mortgage, somebody who pays their rent on time, someone who's stressed about their credit score. You would make this. Now, you're probably expecting me to show you a photo or a video of me enjoying it. There is none. I ate that thing over the kitchen sink. My wife was asleep, and when she woke up the next morning, she goes, hey, where's that Big Deborah you were talking about? And I look my wife in the face and I go, I think you were dreaming that. There's no such thing. She's like, is there white cream on your face? I'm like, I thought I washed that off. I'm so sorry. So Nick, if you're watching this, send me one of those Big Deborahs, because your boy might be divorced if you don't send me that. She's very upset. I know the next time I go to St. Louis, I'm going straight to Nicky Slices. I'm also probably gonna be performing the next time I go there. Get in the description, there's an email list. Join that. Tell me where you live. Not like an exact address or anything. Give me an idea. Put in the zip code of where you live. I'm gonna keep track of that. And where I get the most fans, I'm going to next. I'm gonna try the pizza. I'm gonna give you the best stuff to possibly eat in that city. Join the mailing list so that I can find out where you live. Tell me your social security number and your mother's maiden. No, don't do any of that. Tell me give me a zip code. I'm gonna map this out, or I'm gonna let AI do it. And then I'm gonna figure out where I should tour next. Thank you to my wife, who lost me for a day so I could literally just fly to St. Louis and eat pizza. And honestly, hasn't held it against me once, which is quite impressive. And if you're interested as to, hey, wait a minute, why are you flying to St. Louis and back on the same day? Don't you have a television show to do? And you're like, wait a minute, I haven't seen him on that television show in a while. Why don't you click right here? I have a little video explaining why I'm not on TV anymore. That's my bad. You know what I mean? And also, subscribe while you're at it, because one, I could use your help. Now that the TV money's dried out, I kind of need to build this thing up. So hit the subscribe button. I'm gonna be doing a bunch of cool stuff on this channel. Don't forget that. And if you want to see me perform, do not forget, join the mailing list. Tell me where you live. Tell me where your family lives.